Attention gamers. In case you didn't know, you can pay to win in League of Legends. You can use RP to buy LP, and thus be more happy, which was news to me, but thanks to my good old friends over at proguides, still waiting for my hardstuck, no longer hardstuck thanks to proguides sponsorship offers. Guys, I have recently discovered that there are a handful of skins that give you unfair advantages over the other pissed off piggies on the Rift, some skins so bad that they are even banned in pro play. So the question before me was, would you spend real life money to help you increase a virtual number that has no real value in your life? Hells to the yeah, I did. So I popped $30 into the Give Me LP machine and it shatskied out 2 skins with the promise to deceive my foes. Elderwood Ari aka all my spells look like my charm, so good luck guessing which one is real. Buy this skin to send your enemies down a path of the boy who cried wolf, except instead of a wolf, it's the pink perfume queefs launching out of your lady parts that charm little boys. Then we have Project Ash Hole aka Honey I Shrunk My Giant Ult's appearance, but its hitbox is still a big fat Betty. Buy this skin to make your enemies think they have safely dodged that deadly 900-pound arrow only to eat that shit like pierogies. Don't trust me? Why don't you ask this Karthus what he thinks?
Nope.
So in this video I decided to roll both of these pay to win skins down in the bot lane because I like meeting new people and simultaneously developing a deep hatred for them as we work together to overcome all of the Rift's struggles, slowly building a bond, no, a friendship, that will likely last until the end of game lobby when I report their toxic griefing ass. Now the intelligence team at the RAV headquarters has informed me that less than half of you are subscribed to my channel, so do me a solid and slap that sub button silly, and let's see if paying to win works on a hardstuck scrub like me. Don't forget I am running a giveaway for a dope PC or 2500 buckaroos in cash where you can enter as easy as scratching your own ass, so check the link in the description or I will piss in your ear holes while you sleep. Now you have probably noticed my support is the brother of the one who shits wind, and unfortunately I wasn't recording in Champ Select, but this is League, so you can assume the chain of events started with him calling me a troll for picking Ari, then gaining his spiteful revenge by out-trolling me with a Yone support pick, then calling my mother a pig. This was then accompanied by a series of ill-advised actions, always followed by him spamming some bruised crying meerkat emote hinting that he is secretly ashamed of his actions, like a kid whose half chub is stuck in the apple pie he bought because a movie told him the sensation resembles coitus. And shameful stupidity continues until he attempts to escape his own poor positioning, only to be tethered to the ghost of his dumbass past, handing them first blood on a platter. But thankfully without that wind queef of a support around I can get some actual work done as I prepare some of my used bath water to send over to that pageant king meat spinner, which works like a charm, and then I politely decline his forceful request to get cozy before flashing out of his broken bash. Enter Jungle Diff Tyler 1 on the champ he most closely identifies with IRL, a stocky and short-tempered dwarf tapping Mr. Manthong as I launch a sequence of all charm looking abilities at Megan Fox in her Transformers costume to ensure that we nab a twofer. Then I tell my support to pretend like he is having an emergency squat right now case of the diarrhea's mid lane, so that I can deliver a surprise pinky stinky lick my nips double dash mommy I'm out combo to increase my wealth just a tad bit more. But it turns out all Yone mains deserve to be locked in round rooms and told there's chocolate in the corner, as sitting Indian style playing with his Legos gives him a little taste of danger, to which his response is to immediately go straight back in for more, but this time with a side of dumbass. And at this point I am wishing I had a lollipop or something to give this child so he could sit in fountain and stop looking for his missing chromosomes in my lane. Then there's an uncoordinated contest over who gets to tickle the tits on that turquoise wing ding, so I spread some icicles on the ground and then opt to give tiny Dumbledore a peek of what other girls say aren't interested in showing guys his height, so naturally he comes running back only to get overwhelmed and puss out of a good time. Back to the unfortunate reality that I have a Yone support with gravel instead of brain cells, as he hopelessly goes full dumb bloody sex doll again, and apparently being a dumb shit is contagious as the AD carry flashes to chase down a meal that was about to be served to her, which allows me to pink pedal cuck her a few times. I get infected with the stupidity floating around long enough to not realize the bitch died in the bushes, thanks to my support's contributions, and then I paint myself gold preparing for the dankest use of my passive to heal up just enough to get away from this punching stripper. It was awesome, I wish you could have seen it. 2 minutes later and big surprise, Yone my brains baloney gets caught again with his blood clot boy dick in his hand, and rather than retreating he opts to fruit ninja his way into some airborne fellatio with the male stripper, as I commit to reminding Miss Perky Tits that she is an ADC and surviving fights like this is not meant for her kind. But this comes at a cost, namely a roided centaur slashing my throat with a polearm, leaving Ginger Kyler pants on fire alone as my mid laner decides there's no better time to ult into a teamfight than 45 seconds after the right time, so the sky shits a big useless statue just in time for it to miss 4 consecutive abilities and we all go on our way. We come back bot and I guess people don't play that hair gel made of jizz male stripper busted bullshit of a champion if they aren't the type of person who sits in the end of bushes trying to snatch unsuspecting kids. But Yone is unfazed by ass play at this point as he goes bloody butt muncher, and this allows me to send a valentine to the cute ginger lolly I have been eyeing up. Then I chase after their quote-unquote support yelling set has a mangina before hitting a 1-2- give me cash combo for the kill. Now a lot of comments have been flaming me for saying that ADCs are weak, and I wanted to clear things up a bit. I think that ADCs are actually really strong, and that for example a literal brain-dead trolling underleveled Yone support would never be able to 100-0 any ADC in the company of her CCing support while escaping without a scratch. That would never happen, and therefore, I apologize for talking about balance on my channel. Anyways, I am back in the bushes with my popcorn ready to watch the 6th episode of my new favorite show called The Bitter Wind Shitter until I see MF trying to sneak in, so I say whoa you must be 10 levels or older to watch this, so naturally she cries for her daddies to come in, forcing me to make like a titty and bounce. My support has yet to figure out that covering himself in blood and piss is fun while it lasts, but eventually he has to go back to real life, but by the grace of God himself this moron survives as I catch that redhead trying to sneak in again, so I call for her to be escorted back to base. But I just know that the sight of a Yone support with 46 health and 47 chromosomes is enough to make any male stripper horny, so he comes flying in, but jokes on him, I slipped some laxatives into the Sky's morning coffee and whoopsie it made a poopsie, and I informed this hormonal high school wrestler that this poopsie's name is Galio and Galio likes making ass clowns like him jump. I have decided that since I am stuck in a lane with this mouth breather, I might as well try my best to find some common interest we can talk about, but it's tough considering he is still learning his ABCs in school. But then I see this tower and I say, hey, do you want to knock down a big stone statue, and he slobbers in a way that I can tell means yes. But right after we finish, that giant horse wearing its dumb headdress comes flying in, so I send him a pic of my nipples, but it just makes him obsessed as my support fruit ninjas him and we desperately slap the stallion until it pisses off. Then I am off top lane trying to make a move on this midget wizard, but that grave-digging dickhead sperm cloud is patrolling the area, so when I finally decide to screw it and go in, I get caught in the act and plopped into a playpen. I whip out the pink pepper spray and then flash out, letting my new friend Winston and his 10 death power spike nab the double. Our top laner is stuck having to defend that shovel shitter all alone, and I feel bad because he already has to deal with the worst case of chronic flatulence I have ever seen, so I tell him to try playing leapfrog with the hunchback and he obliges. I come flying in wondering why my entire kit did a total of 7 damage to this grumpy old man, and then I drop a few tic tacs on the floor before my pink petals take down the raid boss. At this point my buddy old pal Yone informs us that he wanted to play Samira, but he got autofilled support, which left me with a few specific questions, but we will just let him live in his sheltered bubble for now. Word on the street is that there is some half horse half man half bitch ass criminal trying to murder our pet Stone, so I round the corner only to get into a fender bender with the butt muncher. But they don't call me Miss Flashy Dashy Pink Petal Lashy for nothing, as I inform the oversized pony that my ass is not on the menu tonight. I sent the male stripper a text saying I am attracted to big boys with styled hair and obnoxiously overtuned kits, and that I would be down to rendezvous in the bushes if he finds a Wi-Fi signal so we can play some tunes, and then I say, surprise, let's have a 3-way with this obese statue. My trolling feeding Yone support is somehow now hyper carrying our team as he goes red dashy blood boy slashy on their entire team, leaving Chippendale Charlie as the remaining casualty, so I shove some pink stink into his mouth and then dash around showing him all the angles of this foxy ass he can't have. So yeah, the bitches quit on us after that, and due to the proverb known as 200 years, my support did the most damage, so I guess look out for the hot fox and Mr. Windcox in Worlds as a bot lane comp, and let's dive into some ashhole. This one starts off with me and Chuckles the annoying shitbag against Riot's latest and greatest installment of unbeatable nonsense as Lantern Larry lines up a lava lasso and the infamous 360-degree wind wall makes its debut. Then a babbling bobblehead forces her flash and I follow the leader to deliver some rapid-fire tic-tacs only to be put on a leash by this loser. Shako flashes in and tosses her a sharp baton because it's her turn to be a dead bitch, and then the three of us put on a WWE right-click wrestling match which ends with us getting paid and Thresh needing some first aid. I come back to lane to see a gathering of red robes organizing in protest to try and get my beloved statue torn down because it symbolizes their people's oppression. Unfortunately, Larry is escorting the efforts, and it was a bad time for me to proclaim that dodging is for pussies as their jungler comes in and I get bounced around more than the whore at a frat party, but luckily the walking PC hasn't installed the Windows update that makes it recognize laser beaming turrets as a threat, and we scrap it for some cash. I run around showing my survival was all skill no luck by missing 6 consecutive CS, and then Thresh rides the fuckboy express to land a double jump rope. This prompts Chuckles to go full Harry Houdini, and I so want to be a part of this wiener whackfest, but my anal cavity is a bit too ripe for such activity, so I stay back and wait for Ronnie the Rolling Rock to come recklessly bowling his spiked ass into the party. To which I contribute by decorating the crime scene with a few frozen darts, and then I collect my paycheck for all my hard work. Okay baby, got my level 6 pump to see the power of this deceiving ult that I dropped 20 bucks on.
Bruh.
I guess the party must go on regardless of how hard Riot is trying to ruin it, and the theme of this party is things that roll, so both teams introduce their guest but our show and tell shits on theirs, leaving them running with their own flaccid wieners in their sad hands as my support does the worm and I hit one more cone of cold to nab the kill. Then I decide to pay a trip up north because no mid laner is expecting a frosty ashhole to emerge from her neck of the woods shoving a 900-pound translucent arrow down her throat. Turns out the red robe protest to tear down our statue ended up being successful, so we run in to access the damage as my support deems porting right in front of a hook the most optimal action in this scenario. Luckily he is a shitbag, so the whole situation turns into a game of guess who, and punishment for choosing wrong is dealing with an army of coked up jack in the boxes followed by an arsenal of tic tacs rapid fire shoved down your throats. I am just finishing my shift as botside river lifeguard, so I run over to tag in Samira, but that bitch gives me a dirty look as I walk by, so I say, hell no girl, what makes you think you can come to my rift and on your second day strut your ass around deflecting all my shit? This leaves lava loser Thresh alone, so I ask him to hold a frozen SUV and then I pepperage farm spam right click, which does the trick. Rumor has it if you go to Topside River at this time you can see what happens when you pump an entire tank of helium and some jalapenos down a scuttle crab's throat, and I will shoot the fattest arrow at anyone who gets in my way of seeing this, but unfortunately some midget riding a vending machine scares the thing off, but at least my friends who are similarly frustrated that they made the trip for nothing still got some consolation homicide. But the whole point of this video was to show the power of this skin's ults, so cue the ult Ash Ketchum montage please. Boom. Blasted. Eat my ass. Call him Carol Baskins, and that, my friends, is how you pay to win, or pay to be slightly less bad at this game at least. And for the second consecutive game, my freaking support rocked the longer wiener on the damage meters, making me think another Rav Hyper Carry support video should be made. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this content, to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and tell your mom to tell her book club about my content. Shout out to my Patreons providing my efforts with some effort when YouTube deems them too colorful. Pet your dog, jerk your ween, buy my merch at teespring.com/ravstore and brush your teeth tonight. Rav out.